You I have seen in We Meet Wednesdays. Some of you, this is a first go. So let me share my screen and I will tell you a little bit about me and what I do. And we will get started on this fun little journey together. Oh, I can't see your faces anymore. Please hold. Meeting. Sorry, it's always an adventure to find all of my pieces because I have to leave like 3 screens up as I talk. Okay. All right, so my name is Kara Laws. I am a business educator. I've started 6 businesses. I have sold 4 of them. About 5 or 6 years ago, I was taking some insanely expensive courses from a company up in Salt Lake, and they recruited me in my second year to start teaching their small business owners. I started doing that. And then I started teaching very quickly for like the Women's Business Center, Utah State University, Small Business Development Centers, the SBA, etc. The Women's Business Center picked me up and had me coaching their women business owners. And while I was there coaching their women business owners, it was like 20 women a week, a ton of women a week. And as I was coaching them, they all kept saying the same thing. They were so incredibly frustrated because by the time they got to me, they'd already made a ton of mistakes, a ton of mistakes. And I was there to help fix them. And it was incredibly frustrating because most of their mistakes could have been avoided if they had known how to grow a business from the start. But when we start businesses, we typically like piece things together. You're like, marketing seems like what I need. And so we start with marketing and we're selling some stuff, but we don't really know why it's priced where it is. We don't understand what a brand is. It just kind of turns into we're managing a bunch of chaos. And so I started this company, launched because these women needed the right steps in the right order to make sure that they were making money. That is one of the reasons I started this business. When I was 20, I started my first business. I might have been 19 or 20. I started my first business. I've loved business ever since we did like a market day in 6th grade. I don't know if any of you did that, but in 6th grade, we all had little teams and we got together and we created little fake businesses and then we sold each other like Rice Krispie treats at school. Coolest day of my life for sure. It never occurred to me you could like make stuff and sell it to other humans and they would give you money. So business has always been like one of my favorite things. I was managing businesses by the time I was 15. So that's always been my thing. I always knew I wanted to run a business. When I was 19 or 20, I started my first business. And I was a really, really, really good photographer. I was fantastic at my craft. And I just believed that that's all I needed. I was good at what I did, and therefore my business would be a success. But that's not reality. And it's so frustrating to so many of us because it should be. It would be amazing if just being good at what we did is what created a successful business. I spent 5 or 6 years stuck in what I call this um, frantic or famine cycle. So basically, I have money to pay. I mean, I don't have any money to pay my bills. I don't know how to pay the bills. I'm working my freaking butt off, but I don't know how to pay my bills. Or I'm so freaking busy, I can't breathe. Sometimes I still didn't have money, but I was so freaking busy, I also couldn't breathe. So I was either drowning or poor, essentially. I was 8 years into that business before I figured out the problem. And the problem was a lack of a business foundation. I didn't have a business foundation. I didn't even know what a business foundation was. I didn't have real systems. I was constantly changing or making up my prices. My marketing was inconsistent. I was just kind of throwing things out on the internet and hoping that it would work. And I had no idea how to solve a business problem. I didn't know what the process looked like to say this is a problem and identify one where the problem was, and then to reverse engineer it to figure it out. It was a lack of systems. 8 years. It took me 8 years to learn what was causing me these issues and another 3 years to plug it because I was trying to figure it out on my own. That is the other reason I created Launched. I have been there. I have cried. I have stressed. I have worried about paying my bills. I have put my family through a lot. And as I talked to those other women, through the Women's Business Center, I realized that I wasn't a standout. It was the norm. Most of us sit in this frantic or famine cycle. And I had figured out how to fix it. It was expensive to figure out how to fix it. And it took me 11 years to get it right. But with this knowledge, I know that women can get there faster. 6 months, a year. It depends on how far you are in business. If you're further in business, it's harder to fix. If you're at the beginning, you can avoid most of it, which is why I teach this to new business owners. Okay. Um, does anyone have questions at this point? Like, are we feeling okay? Is this making sense? We're gonna have a game. Put a one in the chat if you're following along, and you can at any time put a two in the chat if you're like, I am lost. Okay, one. We're doing great. Okay, cool. So I have a 6-month academy that goes through every single step of this. We're not talking about the academy the whole time, but I'll tell you a little bit about what's in it. The academy is 6 months. We go step by step through every piece that you need to build a solid business that can get out of that stupid frantic or famine cycle. This workshop is a very watered down version of that. In an hour, I'm trying to give you what I give other people in 6 months. Okay. So this is kind of what that looks like. If you have your checklist, this is what it will actually look like for you guys. We're just kind of going to go through this really quickly. Can you guys not see this picture? It's super vital. So let's see if it shows up on the next one. Hang on. Okay. Hang on. I'm going to have to share my screen a little bit differently with you because it's not showing up when I present it. There we go. Can you see it now that it has the little picture on the side? Yes. No, we cannot. No, we cannot. Why? All right. Tech hates me. It's fine. I needed a tech savvy person.
We were seeing it. The PDF.
Okay. Well, it's not showing up on this one for some silly, silly reason.
Yeah,
So I was having a good morning. So let me find it here. Don't worry, I always have a backup. When I was in school, I'll tell you a funny story while we sit here and I do this. When I was in college, I was in a public speaking class, which I almost failed. That's not the funny part. And they were like, always have a backup of your stuff. And so my backup of my stuff was my best friend, Becca. And I just printed off all of my slides. And then, of course, my slides didn't work. And so she stood behind me with like little tiny slides and like held them up at every step. It was a good time. Okay. Can you guys see this? Can you see this PDF? Yes. Sophie says yes. Thank you, Sophie. You're my dream. Okay. Tell me in the chat or come off mic, I don't on mic, whatever works for you. Who has their business legal currently? Say yes if it's legal. Tell me no, I don't know how to do that.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Hey, who has not? Has anyone not done it?
I have not done it. She says proudly.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna take just a second right here. Who said they have not done it? No, Tiffany, not yet. You're in Canada. Tiffany is in the US though. Yes. Okay. So I'm gonna take just a second and I'm gonna tell you some stuff. Some people also think they're legal and they haven't done all of this, so it's still worth talking about. It is not valuable for me to read you the checklist because all of us can read the checklist, so that's not what we're doing. When you are getting your business legal, you need to make sure of a couple things. Number one, when you get your EIN, or for those of you in Canada, any numbers that you need, you have to keep them somewhere you can find them. And I know you're like, duh, that's obvious. No, I mean, like, write them on a wall, like, put them somewhere. You're going to be asked for them all of the time, and you have to have them. If you lose it, which I have done, which is why I know, if you lose it, you have to call the IRS or whatever your government equivalent is and sit on the phone for like 6 hours and then prove that you are a human and not a robot. I don't know why they would think my voice sounds like a robot. But you have to prove that you are who you are and then get your EIN or your government number back. So make sure everything they give you, even if they say they're sending it in the mail, make sure you're putting it like on a wall, on a board, not in a notebook, somewhere where you can find it later because you're going to need it. Okay.
Kara, I have a question real quick.
Yes.
So what happens if you lose it and you don't want to sit on the phone and you think, I'll just create another and get another EIN?
Have you done that? Is that a voice of
Asking for a friend.
Okay, so eventually you're going to have a problem because they think those numbers should all be filing for taxes. So eventually they're going to be like, hey, you haven't done your quarterly taxes, you haven't done your annual taxes. What are you doing? And so you're going to have a little bit of a problem with that. So I would crack it down and close the one, close something so you can move on. Okay. All right. Next tip. I know this is different in Canada for sure. Maybe Sophie knows what the real words are because Sophie's also from Canada. Okay. In the LLC, you have a sole prop that you can register your business as. You can be an LLC or you can be a C Corp. 100%, I recommend an LLC. A sole proprietor means that you are the business. You're responsible for everything. If anything bad happens, you're responsible for it. An LLC is a separate entity from you. Sophie's like, I do not know. Okay. So whatever that looks like in your prospective countries, that's what you need to be, is do not be the bottom one that is a sole prop because you do not have any legal or liability protections. You are it. You're it. Okay. Number 3, really quickly. I don't know how this works in other countries, but for the people in the US, as soon as you register your business, you are going to get a form in the mail that says you need to pay $300 to $400 for employee rights posters. This is a scam. Yes, legally you do need employee rights posters if you have employees. You can print them for free. Do not pay. It looks very official. It looks very much like it came directly from the government. It didn't. Do not give them $400. Okay? Okay, so you want limited. Jill, you want limited. Various levels, so probably like partnerships or something similar to that. And it shouldn't matter inside of there, but I mean, it depends on what you want. But limited is what you're looking for. Don't be a sole proprietor. Don't be a sole proprietor. That's all I care about. Okay. Questions about getting legal before we move forward? We're feeling okay? Okay. In the academy, if you need more, partnership. Partnership is better. Don't be a sole proprietor. That's all I have to say for Canada. I'm not sure exactly. All right. In the academy, if you need more, this is what that process looks like. We're talking about business identity, how to choose your name, how to do those things. This is a prereqs course. It's not the actual academy. This is prereqs to get you started. Inside of this, the one I want to talk about, because we're not going to talk about all of it, we don't have time. Inside of this, the one I want to talk about is your business model. Now, most people, when I talk about a business model, think we're talking about how you register your business. That's not what a business model is. A business model is how you deliver your goods and services. So, Carvana is a car dealership. The only thing, they still buy and sell cars and they sell used cars. Carvana is a car dealership. The only thing that's different is their business model. They deliver cars, they pick up cars, they have car vending machines. Exact same thing. They're selling the exact same goods as a car dealership. Their business model is different, and that's what sets them apart. Airbnb, we have had bed and breakfast guys for hundreds of years. Airbnb changed the business model and blew up. My business model runs on a 3-month cycle. Every 3 months or 4 months, depending on how I'm feeling, I run this weekly workshop, this week long of workshops. I put a couple hundred people through it, and then I start my academy again. Well, I do that because I'm really good at sprints. I can't go really hard for a long time. So I created a business model that matches what I can do. I also do very little coaching. I want things to be online. That is also with a course. That's also part of my business model. So as you're creating your business or fixing your business or any part in there, you need to understand what your business model is, because as you build and grow, you're going to have a ton of questions. Should I do it like this or should I do it like this? And what does this look like? And how am I putting my message out? If you don't know what your business model is, it gets very confusing very quickly for everybody. Okay, so you have to know what your business model is. If you don't know what your business model is, you can fill, or what do you want it to be? You can fill out the questions right here. And that will help you kind of figure out what you want that to look like. Do you want to hold inventory? Do you want to be the person delivering the goods and services? Do you want to do custom work, et cetera, et cetera? It'll help you figure out where you're at. Okay, any questions on business model? Put a 1 if you're like, I got it. And a 2 if you're like, I don't know what you're talking about. Feeling good. Either I'm a really great teacher or nobody likes to ask questions. It's fine. I'll take either one. Okay. On to number 3. We can close this temporarily. Thank you, Sophie. All right. On to number 3. We're talking about branding. Now, this is the actual getting into the real guts of what I teach. The other stuff is prereqs. You have to have it to move forward. You have to make sure you're legal. You have to understand your business model. I love branding. It is one of my first loves in business. I have 2 things that I love the most, and it is branding and systems. However, most people were taught about branding wrong. Most people were taught wrong, incorrectly. So again, you guys can read the checklist and go through that on your own, but I want to debunk a couple branding myths really quickly before we move forward. The first myth that everyone talks about all the time is that your brand is the physical appearance of your business. That is incorrect. Your brand is not the physical appearance of your business. Your brand is how you make people feel. Your brand is who you are as a company, what you stand for, what you care about. Subaru is fantastic at branding. When you buy a Subaru, you feel like you're saving the earth. That's branding. Disney is fantastic at branding. When you come in contact with Disney, you feel like you are a 5-year-old on too much candy. You feel happy and believe in fairy tales. They want you to feel that way. It's very, very, very intentional. Harley Davidson, very good at branding. You feel a certain way when you come in contact with them. That is what you're looking for. Who are you? Why do you exist? What are your company values? How do you want people to feel when they come in contact with your business? That is your brand. That is what you're creating. And it does have to be first as you are, it doesn't have to be first, but let me tell you what happens if it's not. I always suggest that it's first, because if you start doing your marketing first and then your online presence, and then you realize you don't have a brand and you have to backtrack, you have to redo everything that you've done. Because while branding is who you are and how you make people feel, the physical appearance parts are supposed to support that. So if you're sending things out that look like concrete and a law firm, that's what you're sending out. All of your stuff looks like that. And you're a preschool, you got to start over. And it's expensive. Thousands of dollars expensive. So you want to start here. Another myth really quickly is a lot of people tell you to start with your logo and build out. Start with your logo and then build from there. Do not start with your logo. Your logo should be the very last piece of your brand. You want to make sure you have your story. You want to make sure you know your voice. You want to make sure you know your values and the colors that support all of that. Certain colors make us think certain things. Certain colors make us feel certain ways. Fonts with certain colors make us feel certain ways. We make assumptions, how we were raised, where we live, etc. So you want all of that in place, and then your logo is the last piece, and it should support how you want people to feel. They should make automatic assumptions based on your logo, and you want to make sure those assumptions are correct. Okay? Any questions on branding? Give me a 1 if you're like, I got you. Sophie's on board. We're feeling okay. Okay. Makes sense? Feels good? Feels good. Cool. In the academy, it looks kind of like this. We're going to go through your branding story, your message, your voice, your physical presentation. If your branding is really good and you're being consistent with it, it helps people remember you. People are willing to spend 30% more money with a brand they remember and they connect with than people who don't have a brand at all. So we'll talk about all of that. There is this entire worksheet on creating your brand, making sure it's consistent, and making sure it's sending the exact message that you need it to send. Okay? Oh, geez, Louise. I don't know why this picture hates me so much, but it's okay. All right, on to marketing. Any questions in branding? I feel like I'm cruising. Am I going too fast? I talk real fast. We're doing okay? You guys can always tell me to slow down. All right. On to marketing. Marketing is, for most people, the most frustrating part of business. It just is. There's a lot of guesswork that's required, not guesswork, testing. Your marketing shouldn't be guesswork. But you do have to test it. You have to put things out and we track it and we see what works. And we put things out and we track it and we see what works and we make microscopic changes as we go. We know who our audience is. We know what we're doing, et cetera, et cetera. It can be very frustrating for some people. So I'm going to give you some tips to help you get there faster. It's not going to be I ran my first ad ever. It was amazing and I saved $1 million and I'm a millionaire today. That's not how it works. But I'll give you some tips to make sure that you're getting there a little bit faster. The first one, make sure you have a core product. When you are a new business, you need to be marketing one product. That doesn't mean you can't have multiple products, but hitting the ground with 25 different products and trying to market all of them is exhausting, expensive, and ineffective. So we're going to start with one. Your first step to creating solid marketing is to choose your core product and push that out again and again and again. Mine typically is this workshop. Nike, they do their shoes. Their ads, their stuff they put out are like, oh, look, it's our new pair of shoes. Oh, look, it's our new pair of shoes. Oh, look, it's our new pair of shoes, right? Does anyone know what Disney's core product is? Anybody? It's changed recently in the last 4 years. Does anyone know what it is? Disney's core product is Disney Plus. Disney makes $2 billion a month on Disney Plus. Disney Plus is their core product, and you'll see it. Even when they're putting their movies out, it used to be their movies, whatever the new movie was. When they're putting their movies out, they'll be like available on Disney Plus on such and such date. Everything is related back to Disney Plus. They have us locked in there for sure. But yes, it used to be movies. But Disney Plus, their core product, Disney, their core product is Disney Plus. If Disney needs a core product, you also need a core product. Okay, number 2, make sure you're identifying the pain. You need to know why people would hire you. What problem do you solve? What need do you fill? Be specific. When you're saying, I help people lose weight, it's not the same as saying, I help women in their 30s lose stubborn belly fat that's been plaguing them for years and get back into the swimming suit of their dreams. There's a whole different thing in there. Someone in here was talking about, Mimi was talking about health and wellness. Hers was really good. It was very, very, very specific. You want to be specific. How are you helping people? When I say I just teach business education, our brains don't know where to go with that. I don't know if I fit into your category. We don't want to walk into a situation that we're not comfortable in, that we're not included in. We as human beings want to feel like we're in the right place. We want to feel included. So understanding the pain that your clients are in, which is just the problem that they're having, the problem that you're fixing is huge. If you can speak to that, that will help your marketing move faster. Okay. Next, really quickly, I also want to be able to say, this is not on the spreadsheet. You guys can also fire clients. I need you to understand that you can fire clients. You don't serve everyone. And some people are actually damaging your business. In the academy, we call these foes. These are foes and frustrators. These are people who take all of your resources and even pose a threat to your fans. They are not helping your business. They are holding you back. You want to be able to get rid of them as quickly as you can. Your marketing needs to be set up to deter these people. You do not have to take everyone just because you're starting. You don't have to do that. Okay. I think it's important too, Jill and Sophie, or ghost you. Okay. Any questions about marketing in general? This is a very quick little marketing piece to just make sure you're on the right track and have all of these things checked off. In the academy, this is what we go through. We're talking about marketing advantages, updating your marketing, friends, fans, frustrators, and foes. You should be creating your business for your fans, and we'll talk all about that. We also have this fantastic lead gen, ad tracker, a marketing breakdown spreadsheet, and of course, I always like printables. So this is available too, where we have a big workbook that we go through. Any questions at all on marketing? And it doesn't have to be like just what I covered. If you have any questions at all on marketing, I will answer them. We're just feeling so okay. Okay. Give me a 1 if you got it. Give me a 2 if you have a question, but you don't want to ask it. Or you feel unsure. You're like, thanks, that didn't help me with marketing. You can say that. Okay. You guys are so quiet. I don't know how to handle it. All right. Moving forward. Oh, this one works. This is a good day. All right. Let's talk about online presence. Do you remember choosing one social platform or multiple for marketing? Oh, we're going to talk about that next. Okay, perfect. On the checklist, I think the online presence is pretty straightforward. So what I want to do today is to walk you through the findability score sheet. So if you guys have it, pull it up. Let me see if I have it. Of course I have it. It's just the question of like, where did I put it? With the findability score sheet, first of all, the thing you should know about online presence is that mostly we talk about social media when we talk about online presence. Your online presence is so much more than that, and you need to make sure you can be found on Google. I cannot tell you how much time I have spent searching for small businesses on the internet, where I'm like, I would love to buy your stuff, or I would love to look at your website for you, or yes, let's see what this looks like. And I cannot find their stuff. And I have a ton of people who are like, Tara, nobody buys my things. And I said, great, can they find your stuff? And they say, yeah, of course they can find my stuff. And then I make them do the score sheet and they're like, oh, look at that. Nobody can find my stuff. Okay, so you want to make sure that everyone can find your stuff. So this is how the score sheet works. Number 1 page, this first page is all about your Google My Business listing. Your Google My Business listing looks like this. Oh, that says Bear. Hang on. Bear Skins. This is my mother's company. All right, right here on the side, Google My Business listing. If you're an online business, you can also have a Google listing. However, you have to say that you serve a service area. So if you have to call and verify and they're like, do you do all of your business online? You're going to say, no. Sometimes I see real people when I go to them, if it's required. And then you can have a Google My Business listing. Or a Google Business profile, if they keep changing it. If you say that you do everything online and you never meet real humans, they don't want you to have one. But as long as you are even traveling to go see people, then you're fine. So the whole first part of the findability score sheet, this part here, is this. You're going to go through your Google listing and you're going to make sure that it's up to date. You're going to make sure people understand what your business does. You're going to make sure that people know the answers to their questions and they know what the next steps are with your business. That is your goal. You're going to go through all of it. You're going to answer all of these questions and give yourself a score at the bottom. You want a good score. If you haven't done it, it's fine. This also will tell you exactly what you need to do to improve your score. The next part of it is you're just going to do a general search engine search. One, you should be in an incognito window for this, or a computer you've never used. You need to know what other people are seeing. Yes, Trisha, yes, if you have multiples, then Google will allow it at the same location. Occasionally there'll be a flag. So if you put something like Suite 1 or Suite 2 or Room 3, it will help because we have buildings with like multiple businesses in it. Okay, the next one is just searching your company. So Bearskins Custom Ink, just searching it straight across. We're looking at this side. Your goal is to make sure your business shows up. Theirs is very good. They're at the top. And then it breaks down their pages. That's fantastic. Then you're going to go through and you just want to make sure, where else are you showing up? What does this look like? This is Bearskins, this is Bearskins, this is them, etc. Okay? Your goal is to be as much on this page as you can. Now, if you have a business name like Launched, that's going to be freaking hard. because there's a million things related to that one single word. If you have a longer business name, that's going to be significantly easier. Your goal is to have your business name show up here. Okay. Now, I'm not going to get into that. Okay. The very last piece of this findability score, and again, you just give yourself the score, and if you aren't scoring well, it literally tells you what you need to do to fix it. Like, well, we can talk about SEO more later, but okay. And then the very last one is to Google your product and services. So now you're going to be like, okay, custom shirts and apparel. This is what they do in Blanding, Utah. You are allowed to put a qualifier of some kind, like where you're at in there, because if you don't, you're competing with companies that have been in business for 30 years. And if you are doing accounting and you just Google accounting, you're not going to rank there. You're going to be like business accounting in Mesa, Utah, in Mesa, Arizona, or whatever that looks like. And then again, you're going back through the findability score sheet and you're going to say, okay, do I show up? Where do I show up? What does this actually look like? How hard is it for people to find me? Et cetera, et cetera. Okay, that's your goal. Now, are you able to be in the listing? Yeah, well, yeah. So that's what I do, Sophie. Online service. The location that I put was a service area. So I put Utah and various cities in Utah, but my address doesn't show up. Got it? Okay, everyone pay very close attention. This is important. This is the best Google hack I've ever seen in my life. You're going to go up to the top if your stuff isn't showing up or if you just want to see more. And you're going to type in site, SITE, colon, whatever your website is. So bearskinscustomink.com. And you'll push enter and it will tell you how many times how many pages Google can see of your business. So Bearskins Custom Ink has been seen 135 times. She has 135 chances for Google to place her on that search, on those search engine results. So if I put my business name in, mine isn't as good as hers. So I could say launched academy.com and it's like fantastic. You have 22 web pages. There are 22 chances for us to put you up on Google. If this comes through and says 0, it means Google's never seen your website. So you have to submit your website to Google. That is a very quick, easy place to start to know where you're looking when we're talking about your online presence. Okay, findability score sheet, figure that out, fill it out. This will give you some at the bottom when you have the total. It'll be like, hey, here's some next steps. This is highly, highly valuable for you guys so you can kind of figure out where you're at, what everything looks like, and what the next steps are to getting seen. In the academy, we go through so much more. We're talking about Google one-on-one, growing social media. I have a fantastic girl who teaches that, your website, and we have some bonus courses on tracking everything. Is that only for websites? Yes. So the site, whatever, yeah, is only going to be it's only really going to work for your website. You can put Google, you can put Facebook in there, but it's going to pull up all of the Facebook stuff. Okay, any questions on online presence? We're feeling okay. Okay, let's move ahead. 95. You get through the whole thing? That's really good. I'm impressed that you made it through all of it in that amount of time. Good job, Barbara. Okay, cool. How are we feeling? Ones and twos. Tell me ones if you're like, I got this, and twos if you're like, I'm so confused. I kind of wish I was in bed. Ones. Pull this back up. Some of you actually confused when I moved it. Okay, give me a 1 or 2. Trisha's doing okay. Okay. I'm going to keep going. Tell me if I need to loop back. Oh, 95 on my side. That's okay. That's still good. I thought it was on the findability score and I was like, man, I didn't even know it went that high. Okay. All right, let's talk about we have a question. Where do we what? You're just gonna type it in. So in the search bar, like in Google. So as if you were going to type in a website, but you're gonna type in search, you're gonna type in site. It looks like this. See, site launchedacademy.com. Except it's sort of launchedacademy.com. Thank you, Sophie. You were like seconds behind me. I should have just let you do it. Yeah, so you shouldn't put it in, but instead of launched academy, you're gonna put in your website and it will tell you. And if it says nothing, Google has never, it does not know you exist. So that is your first step, is to submit a site now. Okay, on to finance. I love money, and it's okay to say that you like money and that we want money in our business. There is so much information in finance, and we cannot go through all of it right now. So I'm just going to give you a couple tips very, very quickly. Number one, your business money has to be separate from your personal money. If you do not currently have a business bank account, go get a business bank account today. You have to have your money separate. It's too hard to figure out. If you're an LLC or anything above that, you legally have to separate your money. You don't know if you're really making money. You cannot analyze things correctly. It's too hard. Separate it. Number two, find an accounting system. QuickBooks sucks. I'm so sorry if any of you love QuickBooks. Did we have someone who did money in here? I feel like we had software finance January. I am so sorry if you love QuickBooks. Do not hate me. I hate it. I hate QuickBooks. I've taken classes and I am a smart human being and it doesn't do what I need it to do. I use Wave. It's free, so they saved you $60 a month right there. Waveapps.com. I spelled that wrong. It's not Colum. You'll figure it out. All right. Wave. Wave is the best. It is free. It is easy to use. When you make a mistake, you can delete it, which is magical. It's fantastic. So I use Wave, make sure everything's there, and it's free. Okay. You need an accounting system of some kind. You have to know what's happening with your money. Your money is telling you very, very important things. If you are not listening to it, you cannot make adjustments. If you are not tracking your money until the end of the year, right before your taxes are due, and then you look at it and you're like, oh crap, what a bad year. You can't fix it. It's too late. It's too late. If you're looking at it every week or every month, you can see the patterns. You can see, oh crap, we're not doing well. And then you can fix it. You still have time to fix it. If you wait, it's too late. And you're just stuck with whatever you're stuck with, okay? I frequently file for an extension, so don't worry. I have some things that are up. There's other things that take me a second. Okay. This one is on pricing. I could talk about this all so much. Next one is on pricing. There is no pricing formula that works for every business. Nothing sends up red flags for me faster than when I ask someone how they price their products and they say, well, my dad told me 3 times my cost. Or I compared it to another company and then I'm just charging slightly under because I'm new. Or I learned in college that you want 100% return, so I just doubled my cost. 99 times out of 100, those pricing strategies that mean that that business is not making good money. When we run numbers, typically for those businesses, that is when there's a ton of tears from business owners because they had no idea. The only way to price your products is based on your expenses. You need to figure out all of your fixed costs. Fixed costs are like, I have to pay rent, even if I don't sell anything. Then you have to figure out all of your variable costs. And then you're pricing accordingly. You also need to know your overhead. So how much does it cost you just to exist as a business every month? It costs my business about $2,500 just to exist. Just to exist every month, it costs me about $2,500. You have to know that number. If you are just guessing at your money, you will never get out of that feast or frantic cycle ever, because you can take on a ton of clients and work your butt off and be super frantic. But if you don't know where you're making good money, if you are not priced well, you are just spinning your wheels. You have to know. You absolutely have to know. I am so glad that's a good tip. Wave is so nice. If anyone ever needs like a tutorial on Wave, I will give it to you for free because I care so much about not using QuickBooks. Okay. You have to know your money. You have to know your money. Any questions on finance? In the academy, it looks like this. We're going through how to increase your profit, building a budget, Wave, and your chart of accounts. If you don't know what a chart of accounts is, we need to have a chat. Business finance versus personal finance. They are not the same. They cannot be managed the same. You have to know the difference. Pricing your products. We're going to talk about cash flow. We're going to talk about profit and loss. We are not going to talk about balance sheets because you don't need it yet, but you will soon. Okay. And then we also have these amazing spreadsheets. And when I say amazing, I mean these are truly amazing that I created from scratch. And Barbara, just email me. Just email me. I will teach you. I have no problems with that at all. Okay. Any other questions about money? We're feeling okay. One. Sophie's feeling good. Okay, give me ones if you're like, I feel okay with what we have. Ones. I feel so proud. I'd like that as well. Just email me. I'll put together a little class. I don't care. Wave is a big deal. Wave is a big deal. Okay. All right. Systems. Systems are the other thing that I love. Systems are 1,000% what moved my clients to hit the $100 revenue goals. I have $1 million clients. This is how we got them there, is by creating real systems. Systems are not automations. Automations are part of your systems. Systems are the most effective and efficient way to get things done. They are repeatable. They are teachable. They are consistent. They are effective and efficient, which I've already said. This is how you prepare for an open house. This is exactly how you cook a hamburger. This is how you wrap a burrito. This is how you train your staff. This is how you answer the phone. This is how you book an appointment. Everything in your business has a system. Those are good systems. That's what you're looking for, and that's what you want. Business grows in very predictable phases. Eventually you get to a point where you kind of plateau and you have to go down before you can go up. It's about 100,000, you'll find the problem. About 250, you'll find the problem. 500,000, you'll find the problem. You have to go down before you can go up. If you are building systems now, you can make those dips very shallow dips. If you are not building systems now, this is a long, hard, expensive process. I have gone into $1 million companies and created their systems and worked through this. It is hard. It is a couple-year process. It is a 5 people quit process. It is a big deal. So you want to be doing your systems right now. Right now, you want to be able to say, okay, this is exactly how this is done. This is our CRM. This is how the automations work, and step everyone through every single process. Okay? How do you feel about Monday? The company, not the day. I love Monday. Monday is a very good one. Monday.com is one of my very favorites. It doesn't have some of the automation that I like, but as far as like project work, it's really good. Nicole, you guys are doing custom t-shirt apparel. Print Life is a very good one. Print Life is fantastic for you guys. It is specific for you. Another one is Sweet Dash. Sweet Dash, by far, people, is my favorite CRM that exists on the planet. 1 million stars for Sweet Dash. Let me put it in the chat for you. It can systematize the crap out of anything. It can give training to your employees. It can give training to you, because a lot of times we do things different. I could talk about this for so long, but we just don't have time. Let me find this code for you. Okay, Sweet Dash, it has my heart. I've left it a couple times and I always go right back because it's the best. Okay. You need a system. You need systems for everything that you're doing. This is what allows you to grow. This is what allows you to have a business that you're not working in 40, 60, 80 hours a week. And I've done business where I work 80 hours a week and it sucks. And then your body fails and then you end up in surgery. Systems. Okay. This will give you the steps to get started on your systems. In the academy, this is what we're looking at. We're talking about good systems versus bad systems, how to define your roles, what the roles look like, even if you don't have employees yet. We have a hiring equation that will show you when to hire, where to hire, how to not lose money when you're hiring. Because a lot of people just use 20 grand. I've done that. Okay. It also has all of the spreadsheets, which it didn't show up on this side because Canva hates me today, but it's fine. And then the entire workbook to go through how to create your systems. Um, Systems are how businesses grow. Systems are how you function. Systems are so important that I could almost cry about them. Okay. All right. Any questions about systems before we move forward? We are almost done, I promise. Feeling okay? Questions? No? Okay. Give me a 1 if you're feeling great. Okay. 1, 1, 1. Perfect. All right. Collaboration. I have a friend that I used to take 3-day business retreats with. He is the nicest human being on the planet. He was born and raised in Haiti, and he moved to the US for college, became an engineer. He quit his very well paying engineer job to start his own business, which included a clinic that served his home country. He wasn't able to do that because he had more money or special resources or a ton of luck. He was able to do that because he believes in the power of people. Once you have a decent hold of the basics of your business, you know you're making money, you know who your target market is, you have a good brand, your systems are working, you know how to bring the money in, then you can start working on collaborations. Collaborations will take you so much further than you can go yourself. Disney's collaborating constantly. If Disney still has to collaborate, so do we. So in this little bit, when you get to this point, you're going to want to start looking for businesses that you want to collaborate with. You want to make sure that they are supporting your product or service, not necessarily in competition with them, but are a supportive piece. They add value to what you're already doing. You want to make sure that you are being smart about your collaborations. You have contracts. You are working, you have the same target market. That's very important. The same target market, and you can help expand and grow together. When you get to this piece, you can really launch off with your business. Collaboration is underrated 1,000,000%. Okay. In the, excuse me, in the academy, we go through all of this. We talk, there's so many different types of collaboration. We're going to create a path or like a journey kind of for collaborators. So what does this look like? Where do I need to be? What are my goals? We'll talk about reaching out, contracts, et cetera, et cetera. And again, we have the spreadsheets and the workbooks because everything needs to be on paper. Okay, any questions at all of any kind? We're feeling okay. So many ones. Jennifer's like all of the ones. Okay. This right here, these things that we talked about, these are the building blocks to business. If you are doing these in order, if you are doing them right, you will get there faster, stronger, and more efficiently. On every single one of these steps, though, there's some pitfalls, super common mistakes that most business owners make. In the academy, we want to help you avoid those. We want to help you climb these steps faster and give you the tools that you can leap over the pitfalls. I don't want everyone making the same mistakes that I made. I don't want everybody in the financial situations that I've been in and that I've helped other people have to climb out of. Business doesn't have to be guesswork. It doesn't have to be guesswork. In the academy, this is what it looks like. You have the prereqs course, branding, marketing, online presence, finance, all the stuff we talked about. We also have bonus classes, and then we have monthly group coaching. We have monthly expert calls, and we have weekly check-ins. So we have every single week, you fill out a form, you send me your stuff, and I answer all of your questions. Most companies like mine are charging well over $500 a month for that same type of support. I had a girl ask me the other day, I'm paying $2,000-$3,000 for a program like yours where the courses are online, but I can't get one-on-one help. I either have to figure it out or die. She said, what are the odds of help, one-on-one help in your company? 100%. There are 4 different ways for you to get one-on-one help within the academy. This is worth well over $9,000. The actual price is $689. That will not stay. It was built to be around $1,500 to $2,000, $1,500 to $2,000. It will not stay. I know I can run it one more time for $689. We only take 20 people into the academy at a time. I have 16 spaces left right now. The academy starts on May 1st. So if you are interested in this, if you are like, this was fantastic, thank you so much, I want all of the other things that you continued to show us as we went through this. I will send you the link right now to apply if that's something that you're interested in. Launched. and this is in the chat, so all of you have it. You have another meeting, that's totally fine. We're almost done. I am going over by like 2 minutes, and I apologize. I'm usually dead on time, like dead on. You want to make sure, guys, that you're building your business with intention. You are 1,000,000% building your business with intention. You know the steps. You know what it looks like. You know where you're going. We spend so much time being just hyper confused, and we take learning from here and learning from here and learning from here, and it is exhausting. We don't want to do that. Okay. By the end of this, I want you guys, even if the academy is not right for you, that's totally fine. It's totally fine. I want you guys to sit down today and say, what are the next steps in my business? I have some more knowledge. I'm working on a business. What are my next steps? What helps me get there the fastest? Where is the best use of my time? Okay. Any questions at all about anything we talked about? If you guys have to go, that's totally fine. I apologize for our 2 minutes over. I'm willing to hang out for just a second if anyone has any questions that they wanted to ask really quickly. The website is not loading. What does it say? Let me try again. Maybe I sent you the wrong link. But the academy doesn't start
It
with a
works for
one-on-one.
me. It works for me.
That's good to know. So if you pay it all up front, because we have payment plans, we do have payment plans. If you choose the upfront one, which is the cheapest option anyway, then there is sorry, I'm just loading this. Then we do a rocket launch, a one-on-one rocket launch. So you and I can get together and we will have a chat and figure out where you're at and what some of the next steps are for you, for sure. We definitely do that. The group calls don't have 50 to 100 people in them. We have enough group calls that they have 10 to 12 people in them. So you can have real help and real people talking to you. Okay. Any other questions before we go about anything we talked about or anything in your business? I know some people had questions about funding. I talk about that a little bit in the prereqs course. The short answer is, if you're not a tourism-based business, it's going to be hard, but there are some options. Okay, anything else? Are we feeling okay?